There is a place on this earth that remains the final frontier of mystery. A continent larger than Europe, buried under miles of ice, designated as a no-man's land by international treaties. It is the only place on the planet where civilians are not allowed to roam freely. It is the only place where the maps are still incomplete. It is Antarctica. For decades, we have been told that there is nothing there but snow, penguins, and a few scientific research stations studying the weather. But if it is just a frozen wasteland, why are the world's most powerful leaders making secret visits there? Why did the Patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church, the head of the CIA, top-level officials from the European Union, and even Buzz Aldrin, the astronaut, all fly to Antarctica in recent years? Why did Aldrin tweet, "We are all in danger"? It is evil itself, before the tweet was mysteriously deleted. Why are massive sections of the continent deliberately blurred or blocked out on Google Earth? And most importantly, what is the source of the massive heat anomaly that satellites have recently detected pulsing from deep beneath the ice of the Wilkes Land region? You are watching this video because you know that the official story is crumbling. You can feel it. The ice is melting. Yes, but it is not just melting from the atmosphere above due to carbon emissions. It is melting from below. Something is generating heat. Something ancient, something powerful. And according to the lost files of Dolores canon, that something is about to wake up. We stand today at the end of 2026. The timelines are converging. The secrets that have been frozen for 12,000 years are beginning to thaw. Today, we are not just exploring geography. We are exploring the hidden history of humanity. We are going to connect the dots between the classified military expeditions of the 1940s, the ancient maps that show Antarctica without ice, and the quantum revelations of Dolores Cannon regarding the lost civilization that is still alive right now beneath our feet. This is the dossier on Antarctica. This is the truth about what lies beneath. And this is the warning about what its emergence means for the year 2026. To understand the present, we must first look at the clues left in the past. Clues that prove our history is a lie. Consider the Pyrie Ree map drawn in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral. This map, authenticated by modern scholars, depicts the coastline of Antarctica with shocking precision. But there is one impossible detail. It shows the coastline without ice. It shows rivers, mountains, and valleys where today there are only glaciers 2 miles thick. How could a map from 1513 show a continent that wasn't discovered until 1820? And how could it show the topography that has been buried under ice for at least 6,000 years? The answer is simple and terrifying to mainstream historians. The civilization that mapped it had the technology to see it before the ice came. Or perhaps they mapped it from the sky. This map is the smoking gun. It proves that Antarctica was once a habitable, thriving center of civilization, perhaps the hub of the ancient world before a sudden cataclysm flash froze it in a matter of days. This brings us to the one event that the history books tried desperately to erase. The year was 1947. The world had just finished the Second World War, but the United States Navy launched one final massive military operation. It was called Operation High Jump. It was led by the legendary Admiral Richard E. Byrd, a man of unimpeachable reputation, a national hero. The official mission was to test military equipment in frigid conditions. But you do not send an aircraft carrier, 13 support ships, 4,700 combat troops, and enough munitions to start a small war just to test parkas and boots. Admiral Byrd took a fleet to Antarctica to find something, or perhaps to fight something. And what he found there changed him forever. In his private diaries, which were leaked years later by his son, he described flying his plane over the South Pole and seeing something impossible. The white landscape suddenly gave way to green. He saw valleys lush with vegetation. He saw rivers flowing with warm water. He saw forests. He even described seeing animals that looked like mammoths, creatures that should have been extinct. He realized he had flown into a thermal pocket, a tropical oasis amidst the ice. But then the contact happened. He described being intercepted by flying crafts, disc-shaped objects marked with symbols he did not recognize. They moved with a speed and agility that defied physics, using anti-gravity technology that made his plane look like a toy. They did not attack. They escorted him. They took control of his radio and guided him to a landing. He claimed to have been taken into a magnificent crystal city shimmering with rainbow light, pulsating with a hum of free energy. There he met with a representative of a civilization living inside the Earth. He called this being the Master. This being told him that they were the guardians of the planet, the remnants of a high culture that had retreated underground to survive the surface cataclysms. The Master delivered a specific warning. "We have allowed you to play with your wars. But when you detonated the atomic weapons in Japan, you crossed a line. You unlocked a power you do not understand. A power that threatens not just the surface, but the inner world as well. We will not allow you to destroy this planet." Byrd returned to Washington and warned the government of a threat that could fly from pole to pole in minutes. His diary was classified. He was ordered to remain silent under penalty of treason. And the no-fly zone over the poles was established not to protect penguins but to hide the entrance. For decades, this story was treated as a myth, a conspiracy theory. But then came Dolores Cannon. Without knowing anything about Admiral Byrd, without having any interest in military conspiracies, she began to uncover the exact same story from a completely different angle. She didn't use airplanes. She used consciousness. Through her quantum healing hypnosis technique, she accessed the memories of thousands of souls, and many of them began to speak of a life under the ice. In her groundbreaking book, The Convoluted Universe, Dolores documents sessions where subjects described the hollow Earth. They explained that the Earth is not a solid rock, it is a living, breathing geode. It is honeycomb. And deep within the crust, in massive caverns the size of countries, protected by the planet's electromagnetic field and lit by an inner sun, a central core of plasma energy, civilizations have existed for eons. Who are they? Dolores's subjects revealed that they are the survivors of Atlantis and Lemuria, when their continents were destroyed by the great cataclysms 12,000 years ago. The same cataclysms that shifted the poles and flash-frozen Antarctica. These advanced beings did not all die. The wisest among them, the priesthood, those who foresaw the disaster, moved underground. They utilized the natural cavern systems and expanded them with their technology. They took their machines. They took their crystals. They took the records of human history, the true library of Alexandria, and they established a sanctuary deep within the earth, a place called Agartha. They have been there ever since. They are not aliens. They are our ancestors. They are our cousins. They are humans who did not fall into the Dark Ages, who did not lose their connection to the source, who did not suffer the amnesia that plagues us on the surface. They have lived in peace, maintaining a fifth-dimensional frequency while we on the surface have struggled in the third-dimensional matrix of war, disease, and fear. They have been waiting for us to grow up. They have been waiting for us to reach a level of consciousness where we could handle the truth of our origins without panicking. But why does this matter now? Why in January 2026? Because the separation is ending. The quarantine is lifting. The prophecy of the reunion is at hand. Scientists are baffled by the current data coming from Antarctica. They are measuring a gravitational anomaly in the Wilksand region that is so massive it warps the shape of the Earth. They are detecting neutrino pulses, ghost particles shooting up from the ice, which violates the standard model of physics. They are seeing lakes forming under the glaciers, heated by a source they cannot identify. They call it a volcanic anomaly. But Dolores Cannon's work suggests it is something else entirely. It is the crystalline grid waking up. Atlantis was powered by massive crystals, the Firestones. These were not just rocks. They were conscious technology. They could generate limitless clean energy, heal the body instantly, and even manipulate gravity. When Atlantis fell, the great master crystals were buried to prevent them from being used for destruction by the Sons of Balal, the Dark Faction. Some were buried in the Bermuda Triangle, causing the magnetic anomalies there. Some were buried in Brazil. But the most powerful one, the Master Generator, was taken to the safest place on Earth at the time, a temperate continent at the bottom of the world. Then the poles shifted, the ice came, and the machine was frozen in time, preserved perfectly in a state of suspended animation. Until now. As the Earth's overall frequency rises, the Schumann resonance spikes we keep seeing, the gamma rays hitting the planet from the galactic center, this dormant technology is reactivating. It is responding to the cosmic signal. The heat that satellites are detecting is not magma. It is the waste heat of a massive energetic engine turning back on after 12,000 years of sleep. The crystal is vibrating. It is pulsing. The ice is melting from below because the generator is powering up. This brings us to the 2026 timeline. Why are the elites rushing there? Why is the secrecy so intense? Because they know. The governments of the world have known about the base under the ice since the 1940s. They have tried to enter it. They have tried to weaponize it. There are rumors of a secret space program operating out of Antarctica utilizing the reversed engineered technology found in the ruins. But they have hit a wall. Dolores revealed that the most advanced Atlantean technology is frequency-locked. It only responds to a consciousness of peace. It interacts with the DNA and the aura of the user. You cannot fire a gun inside a 5D field. The gun simply won't work. The mechanism requires a high-vibration biosignature to operate. The elites vibrating in fear and control cannot turn the key. This is where you come in. This is why you are watching this video. This is the secret they don't want you to know. Dolores Cannon said that the 3 waves of volunteers, the starseeds incarnated on Earth right now, are the keys to these locks. Your DNA holds the codes. You are the reincarnated souls of the Atlantean priesthood who buried the crystals. You carry the dormant memory of how to operate these systems. The heat anomaly in Antarctica is not just a geological event. It is a broadcast. It is pulsing a signal that is specifically designed to wake you up. Have you been feeling a pressure in your head? A ringing in your ears that changes pitch? A sudden obsession with crystals or ancient civilizations? Do you have dreams of giant waves or of flying over white landscapes into hidden cities? This is the resonance. The machine in Antarctica is pinging the network, and you are the nodes of that network. The melting of the ice is a metaphor for the melting of the veil. As the physical ice recedes, the truth will be revealed. Dolores predicted that artifacts would be found. Not just pottery or arrowheads, but machines, buildings, frozen cities that look like they were built yesterday. This disclosure will shatter the timeline of human history. We will realize we are not a primitive species struggling to evolve from apes. We are a fallen species struggling to remember our godhood. This is the event horizon of 2026. The Great Thaw. It is not a climate disaster. It is a disclosure event. The beings inside the Earth, the Agarthans, are preparing to make contact. But they will not land on the White House lawn. They will emerge from the poles. They are the guardians Dolores spoke of. They have been holding the balance of the planet while we grew up. And now, as we approach the tipping point of nuclear danger and environmental collapse, they are preparing to step in. Not to save us, but to guide us. To reunite the surface family with the inner family. But there is a warning embedded in this prophecy. A warning about the fake disclosure. Dolores hinted that the powers that be, the old Earth controllers, might try to spin this. They know they cannot stop the ice from melting. They know they cannot hide the cities forever. So they might try to frame the emergence of these beings or the discovery of this technology as an alien invasion or a threat from below. They want you to fear Antarctica. They want you to fear what is under the ice. They want to militarize the poles to protect us from an enemy that is actually our family. Do not fall for it. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the only thing that lowers your vibration enough to keep you trapped in the 3D matrix. The beings of the inner Earth are of a higher frequency. They emanate love. If you feel fear when you look at this information, that is the programming speaking. If you feel excitement, if you feel a strange sense of homecoming, that is your soul speaking. The heat signature is the heartbeat of the Mother Earth. She is warming up. She is shaking off the cold sleep of the Kali Yuga. The ice must melt so the truth can breathe. So what should you do with this information? You do not need to buy a parka. You do not need to travel to the South Pole. You need to travel inward. The hollow earth is also a symbol for your own inner depth. Most of us live on the surface of our lives, skating on the thin ice of our egos. We are afraid to look beneath, afraid of the monsters we might find in our own subconscious. But just like Antarctica, if you go deep enough, you will not find monsters. You will find a golden city. You will find your own internal Agartha, the place of peace, wisdom, and eternal light that resides in your heart. The activation of the physical crystals in Antarctica is triggering the etheric crystals in your own body, your pineal gland, your heart center. You are coming online together. As the master crystal pulses, It sends a wave of scalar energy through the planetary grid. If your body is prepared, if you have been doing the work of raising your vibration, you will absorb this energy and use it to upgrade your DNA. You will begin to remember skills you didn't know you had. You will begin to access memories of Atlantis, not as a tragedy, but as a lesson. We are standing on the brink of the greatest discovery in human history. The map is about to change. The history books are about to be rewritten. The quarantine is lifting from both above and below. The star seeds are arriving from the sky and the guardians are rising from the earth. And we, the surface population, are the bridge between them. We are the meeting point. If this message resonates with you, if you can feel the truth of it vibrating in your bones, then you are part of the reception team. You are here to hold the frequency of peace while the rest of the world processes the shock of disclosure. You are here to say, do not be afraid. They are family. Let us anchor this truth right now. Let us send a signal to the guardians beneath the ice that we are awake. We are aware and we are ready for the reunion. Go to the comments below and write this declaration. I am awake. I see the truth. Let this be your signal. Let the algorithm of the universe know that you are not sleeping anymore. The ice is melting, the light is rising, and a new world is being revealed. Stay in the light. Watch the poles and remember who you are.